It's been a hot minute, hasn't it? I took a break from YouTube for like a month and a half. For a good reason, I promise. For a good reason. But during my last YouTube video, I came to, I think, the very public and very crushing realization that, hey, I don't think my first draft of The Rope Salesman was very good. I was also, let's be very real here, still sick after sort of going through 6 weeks of being marginally under the weather and 1 week of being sicker than I have ever been my entire life. And I just sort of felt down. So I didn't make a YouTube video for a while. I did spend that time very well though, because in this video right here, tonight, right now, not right now, but like in the next 3 hours, I will be finishing the second draft of The Rope Salesman. If you don't know, The Rope Salesman is my supernatural detective noir novel set in an alternate history 1940s Los Angeles. Why did I say any of those words like that? Great question, don't know. I had to take a break after draft 1. But I felt like I couldn't take that much of a break because I knew what I needed to fix in draft 2. I had a laundry list of things I needed to fix in draft 2. And I'll be honest, I have not gotten to all of them. Let's be very real. I have not gotten to all of them. I've been, for the last 2-ish months, give or take, been rewriting The Rope Salesman from scratch, which means I have had draft 1 up on this side of my monitor, and I have had draft 2 up on this side of my monitor, and as I wrote a scene in draft 2, I deleted the equivalent scene in draft 1. And so I've just been kind of like balancing these for a while now, and I'm finally to the point where I have, in my original draft, I had 2.5 thousand words left at this point. In this draft, I think it might be a little bit less because I've condensed some things. It might be a little bit more. Genuinely, I don't know. I just know I need to fucking finish this tonight because I have done the thing that sort of everybody says you shouldn't do, which is give yourself an arbitrary deadline for no reason. But it's April 30th today. My birthday is on May 3rd, which is this Saturday. And I'm gonna be so real with you. I don't want to fucking worry about this while I'm celebrating my birthday. Like, I just don't want to do it. So, we're finishing this tonight, or God forbid tomorrow, but I really want to just finish it tonight. I have lit my candle that reminds me of The Rope Salesman. It's like a cashmere and leather scent. It's very good. I have 2 mini drinks on my desk right now. I have water, I have a V8 energy drink, and then I have an electrolyte drink because I have a headache. You might be saying, B, do you have a headache because you're drinking too much caffeine in a day? The answer is don't ask me that. Don't ask me questions like that. I want to be done with this novella so bad. How do people write novels? I've been torturing myself over these 35,000 words. What do you do if you have, like, more words than that? What do you do if you have a novel that's 150,000 words? Does the torture get, like, condensed? Or does it, like, is my agony per word higher than somebody who's writing an epic fantasy? Like, is the APW ratio, like, do I just have more agony per word? Or is it about the same and I'm just feeling it exponentially tonight? I just want to know. Like, is my agony per word normal? Hey, if you write really long books, let me know, like, do you also feel an innate sense of agony when you're nearly done with the draft and you're like, 1,000 more words, and then 1,000 more words turns into 3,000 more words? Because I sure do. I'm literally like only lit by a candle right now, like I'm a fucking pilgrim. But I finished the draft. I'm so tired. I just want to lay on my couch now. Writing is really tiring when you're trying to do it good, actually. My brain is so shot. I feel like I can't form a sentence anymore. I'm gonna stop talking. I'm just gonna go lay on my couch and not speak for a little bit. That sounds really nice, actually. I'm gonna do that. Finish the draft. Hi. I just wanted to check back in now that I've sort of slept, ate, regained my knowledge of the English language, and talk about how draft 2 of Rope Salesman went. As I mentioned earlier, I struggled in March. I mean, I thought draft 1 was bad. And I think it was. I'm gonna be honest with you. If I went back to read it now, I think it would be bad. I'm 100% certain it would be pretty bad. I didn't have a clear plan of what I was doing. I wasn't entirely sure what draft 2 was gonna be. Oh god. Sorry, I just looked over and there's so many storm clouds on the horizon that we are getting this done ASAP. I have half an hour before rain comes. So let's see if I can do something good here, huh? Sorry, I'm not in shadows. I'm outside. I went outside. It's nice out today. I needed to not be in my apartment anymore. I needed to not stare at the flash drive that has the final copy of Rope Salesman on it. I needed to just not stare at that for a while, because I did find myself today, I was just like, oh, I could go in and fix some things. No, I'm not. Draft 2 of Rope Salesman is entirely, it's an entire rewrite from the top to bottom. I went into the rewrite hoping that I could cut out 5,000 words or so, and I did not do any of that. I ended up adding 12,000 words. Now, draft 2 of the Rope Salesman sits at 37,719 words, which if you're looking at that word count, you're like, that's kind of a long novella. You're right. You're correct. It is kind of a long novella. I hoped that I would be able to cut more out of it, but I ended up changing the motivations for 2 different characters, and that changed the entire novella. I needed to do a whole lot more to make those motivations work and make them believable, so I needed to add 3 scenes that I did not plan on adding at the beginning. But alas, here we are. So I had to change the motivations for some characters, and I had to make one of my characters, I joked in, I joked in the Storyteller Society Discord or whatever, that I was like, I'm making this woman worse. I'm making her way more unlikable. And so now I've made her incredibly unlikable. My villain character-ish. Is anybody really a villain in noir? I know in my heart that this is gonna need a real thorough third pass once I get beta reader feedback. I'm also gonna need to make a few changes, few tweaks to it before I send it off to some beta readers just to see, because I need to add a few things that are missing from it. I think I haven't even done a full reread of it. I finished it last night at just before 8 p.m. and then I was like, I'm gonna go lay on my couch, and then I passed out on my couch sleeping for 3 hours. So I really pulled sort of a dad watching a football game kind of move, where I was like, I'm just gonna lay down for a minute, don't worry about it. And then I woke up and it was 11 p.m. and I was like, I should just go to bed actually. So I haven't even done a read through as the time I'm recording this, and by the time you've seen this. I just kind of wanted to finish it last night so that I didn't have to deal with it at all this weekend. Because I don't know when you'll be watching this, but May 3rd, the first Saturday in May, is my birthday, so I was like, well, let me just finish it so I don't have to worry about it when I'm doing birthday celebrations. But now I'm like, damn, I kind of want to read Rope Salesman though. Wild thought. I kind of want to read the book I read. I think I really did need to do a full rewrite for this draft. I think it's gonna make my revision process a lot easier now that I know I have a lot of the... I think the bones are there now. And I've added a little bit of meat to some places, but I'm not sure if that's where the meat needs to go, if that makes sense. Like, I've obviously, like, I added 12,000 words. I added a lot. I added kind of almost an entire novella when I was trying to revise this. Oh, girls, there's thunder. Oh, no. It's probably fine. If it starts raining on me, that'll be really funny. I'm like really happy I went through and did this whole rewrite, but also at the same time I'm like, damn, that took me 2 months just to write like 37,000 words. And it didn't take me the entire 2 months. It took me, I think, maybe, if I had written every day and really locked in, I think I could have done this all in like 3 weeks maybe. But I had to do so much brain work to figure out what parts of it was changing, and quite a bit of it did. Also, just like keeping track of where all my characters are and what they know is such a pain in the ass. Oh my god. I had to make like a chart. I was like, do they know this man got murdered yet? And the answer was like, no for all of them. So I needed to like acknowledge their truths in that moment, that when they're interacting with the rope salesman and being a little shit about it, they don't know he just came from a murder scene of their boss. You know what I mean? Like, I had to... I had to mark down what people knew when they knew it, and I just never thought about keeping track of that before. Even though, like, I guess I'm a mystery writer, like, I guess, okay, sure. Like, if there's one genre of writer that's gonna give you a thorough list of where everybody is at what time, it's gonna be a mystery writer. I just kind of forgot that you also needed to do that same thing with, like, knowledge, like where they're at. So if you were keeping track with my sort of like Q1 goals, I did end up, so here's what I did do. I did get a version of my author website not up and running for everybody, but I purchased the domain names and then I made sort of like the wireframe of what I want the website to be. And so I have that running. So I did one of those, check that off the list. Short stories, I also did do those. I did those mostly in April though, so I'm not sure if I can count it, but my writing group did a short story challenge in April called the Spring Sprint, and I did like 4 short stories that I have at least like the bare bones of now, which is fun. I'm not usually a short story writer, but I think I need to start doing it. I feel like that's like such a good storytelling exercise that I just have not done before. And so I need to just like get back into it and become more of a short story girly, I think. But I did end up doing that. The thing I did not end up doing was sending Rope Salesman off to beta readers, because I ended up doing an entire second draft that I didn't think I was gonna do, but it urgently needed. So my goal now for Q2, for April, May, June, right? That's Q2. Yeah, that's Q2. I want to send Rope Salesman to beta readers and get beta reader feedback back, which means I think I'm going to send it out mid-May, and I will probably ask them to have their feedback to me by like the end of June. I think that feels fair. It's a novella. It's not that long. It doesn't take you that long to read, really. And then I think I'm going to try and conquer the terrible beast that I created during November of last year. And I think I want to at least open up the document and just sort of like, genuinely my Q2 goal is to just sort of like figure out what the fuck, where I'm at in The Stolen Spark. If you don't remember what The Stolen Spark is, The Stolen Spark is my mystery novel of a con man who is claiming to be a necromancer, called into the murder of a rich businesswoman, and he doesn't have any magic at all. He's pretending to be a necromancer. He has jack shit. At the very end of November, I had a revelation. Click up there for that video. Where I had a revelation where I think the novel worked better in Boston if it was set in real life in sort of like a magical 1850s Boston. So I think my goal for Q2 for that novel is to open up the page, the document again, see what the fuck I'm at, and just kind of start going through the motions of like, if I did want to get this to another full draft, what would I need to do? What kind of like research do I need to do? What kind of maps do I need to draw? What kind of character work? Because I also changed the POV of that novel when I restarted it. Like, I finished the first draft of that novel in November and it was bad. And I restarted it and I changed the POV from like first to third, which I think I'm more comfortable, I think, writing in third, but I was in a first POV moment. Oh my god, this bird. Girl, it's like 2:30 in the afternoon. Originally, I'd placed that novel in like a secondary world fantasy moment, and I realized that this novel, I think, worked better if it was just like a magical real world moment. So I finished the novel in the fantasy setting, and then I restarted the novel, placing them in like 1850s Boston. And changing a few other things about it, but the biggest thing was the setting change and the POV change, because I changed it from going from first person to third person. I wrote, I think I want to say like 3 or 4 chapters in the new novel, in the new version of it. But that, I don't know what's going on in that Scrivener document. What happened in that Scrivener document, it's between November B and God. That's not my business. I do need to go in and excavate it though, but like whatever happened in that document was not my business. November was an entirely different beast. I wrote 60,000 words across, fucking 30 days. I'm not gonna judge past B too harshly for what they did. But I do need to now, that's my goal, I think, for May and June, is I think my goal is going to be to, like, reevaluate where the fuck I am in that, and, like, make a reasonable... Maybe I'll try and, like, re-outline that book. I think maybe that's a good goal, is I need to open up that document and just see what I can do. I think mostly it's going to be re-outlining and doing, like, some research into the 1850s, and also Boston, a city I have never been in. I think I need to figure out what Boston is like currently, but also like what were they doing in the 1850s? Whaling, I guess. Maybe I need to set it somewhere higher up in like Maine. Maybe I need to go deeper into New England. But I like a city. I do like a city, it must be said. I'm pretty sure those are my two major goals for this quarter are a little bit of catch-up. I want to receive beta reader feedback for The Rope Salesman by the end of June. And then I also want to open up that Scrivener document and figure out what's going on there. Thanks for coming along with me on this little finishing Draft 2 vlog. I hope it a good time. I hope I'll be more consistent with my uploads now. I think maybe I'm still going to try and shoot for like, I think every other week-ish, give or take. I'm going to go before it does fully start raining, because it is so close to starting to rain, I fear.